like to tell them they're doing a good job. I like to tell them they're doing a bad job.
It's actually happened. I've actually stood up and told them they're doing a good job. And then Stan got back and said, you're doing a good job.
Yeah.
But you know, it's everything's going really, really well. Don't hold me too tight to my ride. You get jealous. This is my ride. And lay off.
Been a good deal. The Garrison Hammond Public Forum is intended for matters not included on the agenda for the upcoming Board of County Commissioners meeting. Citizens wishing to address the items on the agenda should sign and speak up. Each speaker is limited to 2 minutes unless otherwise determined by the chairman to allow for sufficient time. Our first speaker, Chris Kerr. Excuse me? Take your time, Chris.
I didn't realize I was the first speaker. Good morning.
The first shall be last and the last shall be first. You're a Bible reader.
Well, good. That's the way I'll start out today. Chris Kerr, Flood Defenders, Genesis 6:8. But Noah found favor in the eyes of the Lord. As a flood defender, I trust the Lord finds favor in our advocacy work and the path that brings us to these meetings. Flooding matters, just ask Noah. Well, Noah, not in the same sense as in the Bible, but National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. I formerly mentioned about the American Flood Coalition's advocacy work with Congress to help proactive flood solutions. They celebrated in December last year 2 laws that were passed, the Floods Act and the Precict Act. Have y'all read those acts? If you haven't, I'll email them to you, and they'll be in my notes as a hyperlink. One of the things in there, in the Precict Act, is the NOAA Atlas 15 is planned to be released in 2026, and it will replace NOAA Atlas 14. In the Floods Act, there's an interagency committee of water management infrastructure to ensure federal agencies engage in water-related matters. They work together, basically. Well, this morning, y'all were talking about insurance rates and risk. And, well, how risks are managed, such as flooding, are associated with those rates. Using accurate rainfall data for stormwater designs and having accurate flood insurance rate maps that better reflect flooding, both correlate with flood risk. So hopefully the Floods Act will, in that agency committee, hopefully they will eventually work with FEMA and develop better standards for our insurance rate maps. Oh, my time's up.
Well, go ahead. You're Noah.
I appreciate it, brother.
All right. We'll give you more time.
April 1st, FEMA fully implemented their National Flood Insurance Risk Rating 2.0, and that's actually increasing our flood insurance rates. So I know the county's under the National Flood Insurance Rate Program CRS system. And I was asking Tim earlier about what our rating was, because it used to be 20% discounts on our flood insurance. So maybe there's some strategies y'all could get together to increase that discount through the community rating system. But I don't want to take up everybody's time, so I will send you this by email. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it, Chris. Stan McDaniels.
Right. Hey, sorry about last time. Been working third shift, and so it's been an adjustment. The Bible talks about the plagues, and one of the plagues the Bible talks about is the plague of frogs. So I've come today to tell you about Executive Orders 13818 and 13848. These are some executive orders you ought to investigate because they do continue to be prolonged and pushed forward by our current administration. I also wanted to bring to your attention something that happened in 2019 when Ron DeSantis signed into to law HB 484. Well, this law, it violates an individual's right as portrayed in the Sixth Amendment, a God-given right that we have to trial by jury. You know, and then it seems like he seemed to retract a little bit in 2022 when he signed that responsible fatherhood bill. I do have some transcripts here and multiple cases with the county, and I haven't been charged with a crime as associated to these two cases right here, except for my knowledge or my lack of knowledge on the fact that my Second Amendment right could be violated based on the testimony of one individual and signed by a judge, and my inalienable right to bear arms could be taken from me. And it has been taken from me. You know, I've turned in 33 of my guns. And last year I had the support, or the emailed that Judge Mr. Burgash here supported the Second Amendment, and yet his brother takes it away from people en masse across the street over here. This is a travesty to this nation. Ribbit.
Thanks, Stan. I hope you go to that gun buyback. You can get a lot of money for those 33 guns. Next speaker, Tom Jordan. Jordan, thank you, Jeff. Wish your brother would be a part of that gun, but we do a lot of gun buybacks in my district. I mean, so it's like $100 a gun. That would have been $3,300. A lot of cash.
All right, good afternoon. Tom Jardine, 1112 Vita Luna, and I have a number of, first, the 2 minutes is unsatisfactory. To me, it's emblematic that you guys don't prioritize the citizens. We pay you very handsomely, and we're not your priority, obviously. Your priority seems to be the developers. Can any of you guys tell me why we don't have impact fees? I watched Mr. Berry's town hall, and he said the only reason that he doesn't support them is because Florida doesn't require impact fees. That's absurd. He wants the existing citizens in the county to pay all the costs of development because he doesn't want to charge the developers impact fees. If we're not charging the developers the true cost of their developments, we're going to have too much development. We need to charge the developers what their developments are costing this county. You are harassing, this is a separate subject, but you're harassing the clerk. You guys are suing the clerk because she's not, Madam Clerk, because she's not paying some of the expenditures you've authorized. And then your Tourist Development Council is harassing the clerk because she did pay some of the expenditures you guys authorized. That doesn't make any sense to me. And they wanted to go back 10 years of her costs. Your ordinance said that she could take 3% of our tourist development taxes for administrative fees. You didn't keep up with your ordinance. It wasn't in alignment with the Florida statutes. That's on you. That's not on the clerk and the Tourist Development Council. They're supposed to be helping you guys out with that. They're ironically harassing the clerk for them not doing their own job. But what I really came down here for today is you guys have been harassing the leaseholders. We don't make the tax policy on the beach. You guys set the tax policy on the beach. And this demonstrates that you guys should have known that when you rejected fee simple, that you were going to affect the ad valorem taxes on that beach. We are paying full ad valorem taxes on any of the property that we own on that beach. You guys are in charge of that beach. Mr. Berry even said that he controls the beach, and he's right. You control the beach. You are responsible for that.
Tom, your time
ad
is
valorem
up.
taxes.
Your time is up. There's no personal attacks, but if you need more time, Commissioner Berry will be the chair in at least next 2 meetings, so make a meeting at his office. Next speaker, Dee Reddish. Redless, I'm sorry.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. As you all are aware, in December of 2014, Brett and I met our attainable goal of purchasing a home at 2046 Silverado Court. in which we could afford to live out our retirement years. Moving to Pensacola was planned for years, and we worked towards that goal to get moved here from Ohio. Yes, we knew about hurricanes, and we knew about storms. What we didn't plan for was to be flooded every 2 years, because a wetland has never been maintained and has been encroached upon with building of subdivisions, ECUA lift stations, and a county-owned pond. We're talking about Bayou Marcus Creek, Tributary B. Moving forward, we have rebuilt our home 3 times in 9 years. Pretty ridiculous if you ask me. Ask FEMA. They're paying the bills right along with us paying our own deductibles. But moving forward, I'm here not to point fingers, not to get angry, but to ask for you, our leaders, that we put into office to try and work with the debris removal project, get an amended work order that would include a model and a study, submit for more permitting for the entire creek. This does not just affect Brett and I. This affects 40 or 50 homeowners that flood. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Commissioners, if you don't have anything, we don't have any more speakers. We will start the meeting promptly at 5. Sign up on that one? Teresa, please, come on. I'm sure Jeff wants to hear from you.
All right, sure, I know you want to hear from me. So, ready? Teresa Blackwell, I live in Beulah, Wonder Lake Road.
Teresa, will you please, he doesn't have a record, but would you sign up after you speak, please?
Yeah, I don't know why it didn't take, sometimes I don't push this.
Well, you know, we've had a cyber attack, so I mean, I don't know what
Okay,
happened.
let's
Yeah.
start over here, we're
No,
discussing
yeah, let's start it
procedure.
over. Yeah, start it over.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
It didn't happen. We don't have any problems with it.
Oh, thank
With
you.
cyber.
Okay, well, I just want to start off thanking Commissioner Bender and Commissioner Berry for preventing any kind of hasty actions on OLF 8 a meeting or so ago, a couple meetings ago. And of course, for many of us in Beulah, it's not bad news that D.R. Horton withdrew their offer at this time. But I'm hearing rumblings that maybe our DPZ master plan can't be built economically. That's what they thought in Lake Wales, too, the developers. And so Dover Coal got a study done. And what they found was there actually is demand for traditional neighborhood residential development like we have in our plan. Yes, we have a lot of Horton homes and cookie cutter apartments, too many going up. But what we don't have is the other variety of homes like we would build according to our plan. So those would be in neighborhoods like really even my grandparents lived in, and like they have here in downtown Pensacola, on rectangular blocks with alleys in back and, you know, street trees and sidewalks and things like that were once taken for granted and have been shed with our suburban sprawl. So we do need variety in Beulah. And actually changes can be made to the master plan, but only when they are really well justified, like, for instance, fortifying the drainage. I agree with that. But not because a builder doesn't build that way. That's not good enough. And also, we need a high school. Originally, we talked about a K through 8, so that would have been a smaller footprint. Now we need 50 acres. Tate has 80 acres. So we want to give them 25? I think you're going to look real silly if we have a big old field of empty light industrial with a squished-in high school. And the other last comment, Beulah Master Plan. I am underwhelmed so far with their community outreach. We haven't heard anything since the meeting. The only thing they've had is a one-page little form online where you can fill in those and put your little comments. And they did say in their kickoff, well, the work done before is going to be really important. Yes, it's going to be extremely important if they get no input from the rest of us. So what the heck is happening there? We're paying almost twice as much for them as we did for DPZ, and the DPZ outreach was light years better. So what's happening there? We need to kick something in gear. Hopefully they'll do better on their charrette that comes up, but what are we paying for, all we have up on their site is like, it's really kind of a, what do you call those things you put up, I forget what you call it. I hate it, I'm getting old, but, what do you,
Take your time, Teresa.
help me out.
We
Those
got
things,
time. You take your
You
time.
just put up those things up on the screen with bullet points. That's
We really can't vote on the screen. We have some.
Oh, I know we're not
challenges
voting,
right now, right.
but it was just like bullet points. And their economic person said we had like 19,000 or something people in Beulah. Where'd she get that?
But
That
Teresa, your
can't-
time is up. But Teresa,
Oh, yeah.
honestly, it's not my district, but I'm sure Commissioner Kohler would appreciate it, and I know I would. Hopefully, we can relocate Oakwood Terrace and Forest Creek out there to Outline Field 8 and do affordable housing. And so I hope that I'll get the support of the residents for
Well,
that.
I've been thinking about affordable, and there is something we can do, even
Yeah.
within our master plan. I talked with the head of planning for Lake Wales, and he said you can make, it doesn't absolutely have to have that alley in back. You can
it doesn't.
develop housing that looks like that with the garage. It's not the big.
Teresa, your time, honestly, and Teresa, I'd love to meet with you,
Focal.
but I hope, because I want to take that
Yeah,
wall down at Oakwood
but there's-
Terrace and get them off. And another thing, I want to move people out of those. I know he wants to get people out of Forest Creek, and I want to get them to Outline Field 8 and create that diversity. So I hope that the
Yeah.
residents will support us with the commissioner from that district. So you're going to find my full support for
Yeah.
Section 8 and SHIP affordable housing on Outline Field 8. You'll have my full support.
Great.
Commissioner Bagash, you have anything?
Great.
Well, I don't think that's part of the plan, but we'll.
Well,
Yeah.
if Teresa and the
Yeah.
citizens bring it, I'm just telling you, I'm going to vote for it, and I think I got Kohler that will support
It
it.
can be done.
So there's
It can
two.
be
It
done.
can be done. We'll have kids out there.
Anything can be
It can
done.
be done in an attractive way.
Exactly.
Not the way, the old way of the tenements, it's not that.
Well,
It's-
I don't
it's
know. I just want
very,
people to get from behind barrier walls, and I want to get people to explore because
No,
it's,
none of that.
we all invested in Outline Field 8, and so I want to get the Section 8 people out there on Outline Field 8. So
I
hopefully
don't
that'll
care how they
happen.
pay for their housing.
I don't care. It doesn't matter. We'll
Yeah,
pay for it.
doesn't matter to me, but.
Jeff, what do you
No,
got?
I was just going to say, Sigma, they're going to be scheduling a series of charrettes, and
Yeah.
they're slowly getting their website up. But I think
Yeah,
you're going to be
slowly.
I think you're going to be very, very happy and satisfied with their outreach once they
Okay.
get going. Because remember, I took part in those DPZ charrettes. They were all online during COVID, and it wasn't that great, and the participation was very small number of citizens. And I think you'll find that the
No,
Sigma.
not really.
It was.
800 some
Yeah.
people.
Very small, very
no,
anemic,
No,
but-
that's what you like to say, but.
No, well, it's a fact. If there's
Yeah.
30,000 people that live there and 800 people, you tell me. But
Yeah.
the Sigma effort is going to be much more broad with a lot more participation.
Well, thanks,
Okay,
Commissioner.
we'll see.
And Teresa, thank you, and we appreciate it. And
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Commissioner Kohler, I think that it's high ground. There'll be no flooding out there on Outline Field 8, so Forest Creek will be fine. Thank you. We stand adjourned 5:30.
Thank you.